What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy MrBaboon back with a reaction video. So this time we have the wild world of Roman jobs. So this is like ancient Roman jobs is what we're gonna be reacting to and everything. It's like 14 minutes long. The reaction might be 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Who knows how long it's gonna be? I don't even know how long it's gonna be until the end of the video. So let's see. Let's go get into this and make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you guys are new, make sure you guys check the description. I will have the video and the channel link down below. If you guys want to go check them out, you guys can. I really do appreciate you guys just chilling with me and watching this, reacting to this. I appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching, liking, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys do subscribe, turn on post notifications. Because then I'm going to push something up here. And I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be all these other YouTubers that be doing this. But I got to do it. Now, is it going to pop up on the screen? Probably not. Because I don't know how to edit. But, like, let's see. Let's see. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, my God. Did you guys know? It says there's 90.6% of you guys that are not subscribed. And it only says 10% of you guys are subscribed. That's crazy. You don't believe me? Like, what? Like, come on, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you guys are new. And if you guys are returning people who be watching my stuff, make sure you guys keep on liking all that good stuff. We're going to go and get into this because my intro is like 2 minutes long. So, I apologize for the long intro today. I just wanted to talk and bullshit, you know. Have a little bit of fun. So, we're going to react to this little ancient Roman jobs and all this good stuff. So, I'm excited. I'm just going to check. Right there's the channel. I will have this channel and this video right here. There's a link for the video and the channel link right there. Will be down in the description if you guys want to check it out.
Rome was a multi-ethnic society with a large population that required a broad spectrum of jobs to sustain its economy. However, choosing their career was not always an option for the general people.
Oh.
This was only possible for people with higher status or inherited roles. Prestigious professions, military leadership, and political administration were reserved for the Roman upper class, whereas ordinary people were involved in various jobs. Moreover, the Roman Empire depended on slaves, and any wealthy person could keep as many as 500 slaves. The slaves were controlled such that they had to partake in challenging, unpleasant works of low esteem. The typical jobs were farming, construction, and domestic services, and educated slaves could work in medicine, teaching, accounting, and artists. Some jobs, however, like the orgy planner or urine collector, were bizarre even to the slaves. So today we will take a look at the weird Roman job. The weirder a job is, the higher it is ranked on the list, while more normal jobs are ranked lower.
If you say the piss collector is a normal job,
with back to school season, Grammarly.
I'm gonna have to question some shit, buddy. We're not doing that.
Let's start off the F tier with a job that actually still exists today, even though it may have changed slightly.
What you mean?
Just like our astrologists who try to predict your future by your zodiac sign or tarot cards, the ancient Romans had their own version of that profession.
You're a Gemini, you probably experienced deja vu, the feeling that this moment has happened before. And you also experienced deja vu, the feeling that this moment has happened before.
The Polarius were chicken interpreters who told the fortune of military campaigns based on how chickens ate. Instead of being tasked with taking care of more regal birds like eagles or owls, the Polarius had to take care of sacred military chickens. Sacred military chickens. One of the strongest empires in history literally had chickens that were relied on to tell whether a battle would go well or not for the Roman army.
Yeah, no, that's
Before a battle, a Polarius would release the chickens and throw corn on the ground.
That's crazy.
If the chickens ate, all was well. If they ate so messily they dropped kernels, even better. If they didn't eat, oh no. If they refused to come out of their cages, you may as well send everyone home. There even is a story about one Roman fleet commander who was so impatient with the poor birds, who were understandably dizzy from sailing, not wanting to come out of their cage, that he threw them overboard. He lost the battle and was scolded for drowning his fleet's sacred war chickens. I think this profession perfectly defines the F tier. It is somewhat strange, but considering that we still do the same thing today, it's kind of normal, at least for this list.
Huh. You know, unless you just
we all
don't
know
worry
it,
about
and
that
we all
shit.
hate it. You are at a party and someone approaches you, but damn, you forgot their name, which could result in embarrassment. Sucks for
Not for
you,
me.
but the Romans were perfectly prepared for such a situation. The Roman profession of name caller or nomenclator had one simple task: to remember everyone's name at a party or other event. As efficient as the Romans were, they had a backup for not remembering people's names at gatherings and parties, saving themselves from embarrassment. When people would approach their masters, the nomenclator would loudly announce the name of whoever would come, saving a deadly social embarrassment. What sounds like a funny party gimmick at first was actually also a crucial political instrument. Political candidates would be accompanied by their respective nomenclators, who prevented any embarrassment for the candidate. Whenever someone would approach the candidates in a friendly or personal manner, they would ensure the candidate by calling out the approaching person's name out loud. That's why this job is in F tier, since it isn't really weird, but rather...
No, but it's just like, I don't give a fuck about being embarrassed or anything. Does it suck? Yeah, to an extent. But is it funny later on in life? Yes. Easily funny. So, it's not a...
unique.
Let's see what this one...
The last candidate for the F tier is the position of Vestal Virgins. In ancient Rome, the Vestals were known to be the priestesses of the Roman goddess Vesta, the goddess of the hearth, and were considered vital to the security of Rome. The duty of the Vestals was to keep the fire in the temple of Vesta burning.
I didn't know that.
They believed that the failure to do so would lead to chaos in the empire. It was essential for the Romans that the
if I'm being honest, actually...
Vestals were virgins.
You might touch the finish line, but you've never touched a woman. You're right. I haven't lost my virginity.
This was obviously a drawback and a risk at the same time. If they were to lose their virginity, they were usually walled alive and then left to dehydrate, a truly brutal punishment. Other Vestals who broke any other vow, such as letting the temple fire go out, were beaten behind a curtain in the dark. However, the good in all this was that they were treated fairly well and given special game seats. So all in all, I would consider this job to be quite normal, especially considering that even modern monks and nuns still vow to abstain from any sexual activity. Although luckily the punishments today aren't nearly as harsh.
Yeah, I don't know what the punishments are today, but like, it's just, you know, it's crazy. Ancient times. Is just crazy. Like, around this time. It's fucking crazy. I'm glad we live.
Now we enter the E tier.
I would say, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad I live in, like, present time. Like, I'm glad I didn't live back then when the Roman shit was going on. All that other shit. Everything is, you know. I'm glad I live in today's time. You know,
here with a rather interesting but kind of controversial job.
I don't know.
In the ancient world, a funeral clown was common enough to leave behind records of clowns making fun of the dead at their own funerals. These funeral clowns would mimic the behavior of the deceased. It wasn't just any behavior either.
Like, I mean, I would hope, because I mean, like, you know what I mean? Some people don't want the funerals to be, like emotional, like very sad or anything. They want people to remember like the good times and everything, you know? At least that's how my buddy did it for one of his when he passed. They just remembered all of the good times with him and everything. I didn't go to the funeral. I don't really do funerals, but you know what I mean? It's crazy.
They specifically picked ones that made the deceased look bad. Of course, this was done in a funny way that wouldn't offend the audience, which was likely made up of friends and family who wouldn't tolerate actual slander. One amusing account from Suetonius, a Roman historian, tells of a funeral clown mocking Vespasian, the emperor famous for his role in building the Colosseum, for his stinginess. The funeral clown was said to have asked the crowd, while still pretending to be Vespasian, how much the funeral would cost him. Considering that most of our modern death rituals are connected with immense grief, this might seem weird to many of you.
No.
However, I think the concept that a dead person gives his friends and relatives one last laugh through one of these clowns doesn't sound too bad.
I don't think so. I think it's actually a very, you know what I mean? It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's thoughtful, you know what I mean? To me, it's very thoughtful because they want their loved ones to have one last happy laugh and memory and stuff, you know what I mean? So to me, I think it's very thoughtful.
In ancient Rome, asking the gods for help was common if one could not personally take revenge. A curse against their enemies was ordered by the hateful and the superstitious. The middlemen between the gods and the hateful person were called curse tablet scribes. The entire day they would hear people's complaints of hate for others and the wrongdoings they had endured. They would take people's requests for revenge and etch a curse onto a soft lead plate. Those cursed tablets were believed to have influential power against the gods, and they would either be nailed to the wall of temples or rolled up, placed underground in graves, or thrown into wells or lakes. All manners of cruel punishments consisting of blindness, madness, and hopes of the enemy's intestines being eaten away would be wished for in those curses.
The
treatment done to the material was compared to what should be done to the target of the spell. The curses would be written backward if needed to be extra effective. That's definitely a weird custom.
Yeah.
Considering nowadays people use fake Twitter accounts to insult other people, this concept doesn't seem too far-fetched.
I mean, it's definitely
now we are coming
in my
into the
eyes.
D tier, featuring the fuller. Fulling is the process of
Because then, like, you know, back then, they're literally wishing death on someone. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I think it's very different. Because, I mean, you still got people on Twitter who do that shit. But, like, any social media that does. You know, like, so...
cleaning clothes, especially wool, to
I
remove
guess I
oils,
can
dirt,
kinda
and other
agree with that.
impurities
But to
and
a
make
state,
them
not really.
thicker. Ancient Roman times were popular for fulling by making the slaves stand ankle deep in the urine. As filthy as it sounds, the practicality of the concept lies in the fact that urine was a source of ammonium salts. It was known as the wash that assisted in cleansing and whitening clothes. The use of urine faded when more sophisticated concepts of watermills came into place.
So.
The job itself was basically a very early form of someone doing laundry, which isn't weird at all.
No.
However, the part where you have to stand in ankle-deep urine makes this whole thing relatively unpleasant, I would imagine. However, urine was actually so important in ancient Rome that they even had official urine tax collectors who, spoiler, will be featured later on this list. Another candidate for this tier is the position of armpit hair plucker. Armpit hair pluckers filled bathhouses with the screams of their clients. Roman baths were hubs of public life and of public image. One of the many services offered at the baths was armpit plucking, employed by bathhouse guilds to manually pluck the armpit hairs of patrons with tweezers. The philosopher Seneca notes that the armpit pluckers would shout in the bathhouses to get people to get their pits plucked, and when the pit plucker wasn't shouting, he was forcing his customer to shriek instead of him. Honestly, this job was pretty normal considering that armpit waxing isn't out of the ordinary even today. However, I think that turning this waxing process into a public event at the bathhouse makes it a little weirder than it needed to be.
Definitely does. It definitely does.
Oh my god, the Wi-Fi is out.
See, that happens with me all the time when Wi-Fi goes out.
Did we take it too far back?
I need Wi-Fi
Now
for
we
a lot
enter
of
the
things.
C tier, the perfect middle ground between somewhat normal jobs that are also pretty weird. Vicarious were the middle managers between their masters and their fellow slaves. And yeah, we're literally talking about real middle manager slaves who managed other slaves.
It just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
Ooh la la, someone's gonna get laid in college.
According to Vicky
I love
Leon,
Rick and
author
Morty.
of Working Ninth to V,
Rick and
slave
Morty is
owners
so
would
good.
buy slaves to serve as their body doubles at work and do their work for them. These vicarious would then be lived vicariously by their owners, who would send them to do office work. It wasn't so bad of a gig either, since it turns out that some vicars would be given access to part or all of their master's assets. Some of them would be paid a portion of the profits made, allowing them to eventually buy their freedoms. Ironically,
Okay.
more enterprising slaves, however, would opt to buy their own vicarious and continue growing their master's wealth so they could continue taking a cut. So while this management position isn't far off from modern businesses,
No.
the ancient slaves aspect makes that job very questionable.
Yes. Very.
We finally enter the B tier with the job everyone has been looking forward to, the Roman orgy planner.
That's
The
not a job
planners
I
were
wanna
responsible
fucking do.
for planning the perfect orgies and sex parties where guests
Fuck
freely
that.
partake in open and unrestrained sexual activities,
And I bet you the person doesn't even get involved. So what kind of fucking job is that? You're planning people to have orgies and sex and everything. But like, I bet you're not included. Like, no, fuck that shit.
including group sex. They had the authority
They
to
don't
select
pay
the
fucking
food,
good.
drinks, and music, as well as women. Those women could attend the orgy who were capable of making the event of utmost entertainment for the guests. The Greco-Roman world
The orgy
shared the
planner
party
Bell got
god
paid
Bacchus,
pretty good.
lord of wine and ritual madness, and celebrated him with the Bacchanalia. Attendance of these parties had a tendency to really tap into that divine, crazy party energy and go around on a debauched, often violent sex spree. At one orgy, legendary bisexual Alcibiades, an Athenian statesman, and his homies stole the dicks of hundreds of statues throughout Athens.
What the
However,
fuck?
the planners were despised, especially by the lower class, as they thought the entire event to be unnecessarily luxurious and expensive, or simply because they didn't get an invite themselves. All in all, the job must have been really funny, but I think
Oh,
I
it
don't
probably
even
was
have to
funny.
explain why this job description might seem weird to some people.
Yeah. Shit collector.
We start off the A tier with the position of Stercorarius,
fuck
or to say
that.
it more bluntly, the
I would hate to live in the ancient Roman times, bro. I either be a shit collector, an orgy planner, the fucking, I forgot what this dude was, the dude in C2, and like, no, fuck that. I don't want any of these goddamn jobs, bro.
shit collector.
I'm just, no.
That is one big pile
See,
of shit.
imagine.
Ancient Rome was famous for its aqueducts and toilets, innovations that were so advanced it would take centuries to see them return after the fall of Rome. What a lot of people forget is that a lot of these advanced services were available only for important public buildings. Think of the noisy bathhouse where the armpit plucker is trying to pluck your pits or government buildings, regular residential areas where most people lived, not on the plumbing grid. That's why the Stercorarius had to go from house to house and collect people's shit from their cesspools, bucket by bucket and wagon by wagon. He then had to drag everybody's shit outside the city where he would sell it to farmers. For his troubles, the Stercorarius got 11 copper coins. Considering Rome's bumpy stone streets, it wasn't a rare occurrence for one of these shit wagons to literally flood the Stercorarius. So considering you were basically a personified toilet flush, this job was one of the weirder ones.
Yeah. You want a tax collector? I don't want this shit.
The urine tax collector was basically the big brother of the shit collector.
Yeah.
As introduced by Emperor Nero, the urine tax was subsequently taken upon by his son Titus. Urine was widely used in various chemical processes, such as extracting ammonia to clean and whiten clothes, soaking animal skin before tanning, and even using it as toothpaste. The urine would be summoned from public toilets and cesspools. When the fine...
Okay, I did not know that part about using it as fucking toothpaste. That's fucking gross, bro.
of the Roman Empire
No,
had
that
been
is
crippled
gross.
after nearly 2 years of civil war, Vespasian inherited the empire and left his successor with a profit through the urine tax collection from the urine gathered at public restrooms.
gross.
When Titus Vespasian's son blamed his father for applying the tax on urine, he held a piece of gold coin procured from the tax against his nose and replied, "Money does not stink."
I mean, money can stink. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
The position of the whipping boy was exactly as cruel as it sounds. The education of the royal children faced some difficulty in the 15th century as education was enforced through punishments. The divine right of kings that stated God and the king's son appointed the kings was to be punished by no one, but the king brought the tutors into a dilemma. Hence, as a solution, the appointment of whipping boys was established. Another boy studying with the king's son appointed by his son would be punished if he misbehaved or did not do his homework.
Stay still!
In return, the whipping boy was granted noble titles and estates for his service once he was an adult. The idea behind this was the hope of developing a bond between the two, leading to the royal infant behaving and studying well to end the whipping boy's misery. So while this job could provide...
unless he's a little shit and just doesn't give a fuck, then he's not gonna do it just because he's a little shit. And then he wants to see that whipping boy get hit and shit. Like, no, man, fuck is that? The fuck, man?
You with titles and other rewards, it
I
must be a
hate
horrible
living
feeling
ancient
to get a
Rome.
bloody punishment for the mistakes a stuck-up child of the royal
Right?
family made.
Like, fuck
From
that.
orgy planners to the curse tablet scribe, it is safe to say that the ancient Roman Empire had a room full of extremely strange
Yeah.
professions. And while many of these professions seem very funny, there are also some very dark ones, especially considering the harsh punishments the whipping boys and Vestal virgins had to face.
Oh,
In the
shit.
end, the Roman
Yeah.
Empire never ceases to amaze us with its extravagant lifestyle.
Right?
But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, that's it for the video. Let me know what you guys thought about the video down below in the comments, all that good stuff. Yeah, no, I would hate to live in ancient Rome. I really would. I would not like living in ancient Rome, not even the slightest. I either have one of these shitty jobs or some like I just don't think it would be fun. It would not be fun to live in that time. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. Check the description. I have the video and the channel link down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. Make sure you guys do like, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys do subscribe. 90% of you guys are not subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. Who doesn't like free? You know what I mean? Subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Positivity is key. Motivation is key. Happiness is key. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys stay safe, all that good stuff. Watch out for each other.